My name's Mike Wallace, and I am from Pembroke, Ontario.
My name is Corey McLaughlin, and I grew up in Kincardine, Ontario.
So I met Corey, I was living near Seneca College. I went to Seneca. I had graduated at the time. Corey was still in school. He was living next door to us.
I lived with 4 girls at the time. I think I needed a little bit of guy time, and I just remember opening up the door and looking out and looking at Mike and his friends.
You know, we were outside throwing the baseball around and he kind of poked his head out.
Saying, can I play? Just like back in the day, I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, I remember that night, I'd gone to a birthday party with some friends, and when we got back, there was a note on our door that said, poker, ? We got chips together and we had a good game of poker. Corey cleaned us out for the first few games that we played, and my friends and I were like, who is this guy?
Mike and I connected very quickly. I think it was actually within just a couple months, I brought Mike and another one of my friends back home to Kincardine, and we actually had a really good time. Pretty much right off the bat, it was just very easy to connect with Mike.
You know, we developed a bond from that point forward. Otherwise, we were very similar in the sense that we both grew up in small towns. We kind of had like a similar upbringing, and we related on a lot of stuff. We both love sports. We both love to compete, any backyard game, you name it, and we just love to go toe-to-toe in it.
And that is how we connected. That was about 17 years ago.
Right after I graduated from Seneca, I fell into a job at a small telecommunications company. I ended up leaving that job after 3 years. I fell into another project management role, ended up leaving that job, and I took on a job with TD Bank. But I realized, you know, about midway through my tenure there that it just wasn't for me. There was something lacking in my life. I didn't feel fulfilled. I just knew I didn't want to be there, and I knew I had to make a change.
I ended up, when I came out of college, I worked for a charity. I worked for Bell Canada, I worked for CIBC, a couple different corporations, and I realized very quickly that wasn't for me. Ended up opening my own property maintenance landscaping company, and I ran that for about 7 years. And then at that point, I realized that the landscaping also wasn't for me, and that's when Mike and I started chatting about doing something bigger, doing something greater for the world.
As the pandemic tears across the globe, the toll exacted in lives lost and ruined by the day. But for those already in need, the hungry and starving, COVID-19 is accelerating their nightmare.
World leaders, there was a coming disaster. The 2020 could be the worst.
That number has gone from 80 million to 135 million people as of last year.
Something sparked in the two of us.
Just saying we want to do something bigger for the world.
We basically just made a determination that it's going to happen.
And that's when Mike quit his job. I sold my company and we started what eventually became Tenfed.
We came up with an idea that we were going to give back to charity in some way.
We wanted to help as many people as we possibly could. We realized how much suffering there is in the world. So we knew that we wanted to help and do something that we actually had joy in doing.